So I have a leak in the water holding pan of my swamp cooler that I've been trying to fix. Well, that's my chicken squawking. Anyway, trying to fix that. So I've got the front grill taken off and the side panels taken off. And so we'll have a look at this, and I'll show you what I've done so far. Let's move up a little closer. But you can see down in there, it's kind of a mess. I tried filling it with water after I patched it, and it didn't help it. So there's all that mess from the junk that the water picked up. I'm gonna have to clean that all out again. And right here, I don't know if you can see, there's the panel. This little piece of angled metal came right out, so no wonder it was leaking. Looks something like that. I used a piece of roof flashing, and obviously I cut another piece to put behind it. Obviously it didn't really help. So I'm standing here beside my garbage cans out beside my house, and I'm going to try to do something. I would like to cut some fabric and really seal that hole with this fabric and some submarine sealer. So I found some fabric, outdoor fabric, fairly sturdy, that I'd like to cut a patch out of, sort of to form a grid work or some kind of stable patch to hold the submarine sealer in place. So that's what I'm going to do. It would be better if it were fiberglass, I think, but I don't have any of that. And I'd like to get this fixed if I can. So I'm going to give it a shot. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We'll try something else. So I'm going to cut off a little strip here. By the way, yesterday was the day our garbage pickup was. I grabbed the black can in the front and the blue can to take out to the road for the garbage to pick up. And I didn't even think about it. And what I had to do was I had to grab this handle and just turn it around like that so that I could pull it out to the street. Didn't think much about it. And then about an hour later I came out and I had crushed a young rattlesnake underneath that. So this is one of the hazards of living up here. So far, no problems, except our dog did get bit in the face by a rattlesnake about 3 or 4 weeks ago. He recovered because our neighbor was kind enough to help us with some medication she had left over from when her dog got bit. But it was one of those things, kind of a shock, to come back and find a crushed rattlesnake. Okay, so now I have my patch piece, and I'm sure we won't use quite this much. I'll have to cut this some more. But this is what I'm going to try to use as sort of the framework or the grid, or whatever you want to call it, the structural piece that keeps the sealer in place. Using this submarine sealer for coating the bottoms of coolers for just this problem, and that fabric as the grid. Okay, so now, I don't know if you can see this really well, but there's mesh on the outside, and it's very similar on the inside. So I put mesh, and that's the word I was looking for before. I said grid, and I said background or something like that. Anyway, so I put the mesh on the outside, but I also put it on the inside just to sort of hold the sealer in place. I honestly don't know if you can see that, but we're going to give that a try and see if it works. Got to let it dry thoroughly, and then we'll test it out and see if it holds water. I also went ahead and replaced the pulley wheel while it was at it. The old one was slipping around on the shaft. I'm not going to touch it, but you can see I'm pointing to the shaft. There's a flat spot on one side of the shaft. That pulley wheel goes over it, and then there's a key, flat little piece of metal that fits into a slot that holds it onto the shaft so that there's traction. And then it fits to the pulley up here. That's what runs the fan. Now the swamp cooler is running, and I think I've got the leaks fixed. There is a little bit of dampness on the front of the swamp cooler, mainly because the water dripping down from above, where it's supposed to drip down through the pads, some of it has come out, and so the front part is a little bit damp. But there's no leaks from down below, and I'll show you that. There's nothing down here that's really leaking, and it looks like my mesh with the submarine sealer has worked. I put some there. I went ahead and did some on the inside. Here was another leak over here that I fixed, and also on the inside, which I can't show you because I've already put the panel back on. But it looks like we've got ourselves a fairly successful patch job.